Welcome to the Holistic Psychiatrist Podcast, a place for inspiration, insight, and information on holistic mental health. Join your host, Dr. Alice Lee, and discover critical information on safe, effective psychiatric medication withdrawal. Explore new ideas that enlighten and expand the mind with cutting-edge authors and experts, along with former patients as they share their miraculous healing journeys. It's time to build your well-being from the thought up. It's time for the Holistic Psychiatrist Podcast. Here's your host, Dr. Alice Lee.
Hello, and welcome to the Holistic Psychiatrist Podcast. Today, I'm recording a story form that will be spontaneously generated to help an individual in the middle of our session. This is being applied to someone I'm working with right now. Would you like to just mention who you are or whatever you want to reveal about yourself?
Yeah, so my name's Emily. We were in the middle of working on several things, trying to dig really, really deep to uncover some of the issues I've been having with, we started talking about patterns first, right? And then slowly uncovered, peeling back the layers of the onion that ultimately I feel like some of the negative patterns I've been facing in my life boiled down to confidence, lack of confidence in my ability to do things on my own, not relying on other people. So like we were just saying before we started, self-reliance ultimately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it appeared that there were a lot of traumas, a lot of experiences, that led up to it. So it's not something simple that we can handle just through empower energy technique. But we needed to pull out the big guns, which is using this energy technique called story form. So story form is using metaphors, symbolism, our imagination, and an unwinding story. And it's very spontaneous. It depends very much on the creative ability of the clinician to be able to pull up and create a story that represents at a symbolic level through imagery, through the story, the initial problems, and then brings life energy in to transform that story to a different outcome and a different experience. So what we're going to do today is we're going to start as we normally do when we start with story form, which is we'll begin with energy breaths. And then as we're connected to that infinite source of life energy, I will start to basically tell you a story. That story represents today, anyways, a universal struggle that everybody experiences in terms of manifesting and creating the optimal outcomes in our lives in a way that also supports and empowers us to be more self-sufficient and self-reliant in overcoming the challenges that then leads to these positive outcomes. The listeners are going to be able to have a sense of how story form is being applied as we develop the story for you personally. I have some general ideas of how the story will unfold, but once we do the energy breaths, I'm going to allow myself to slip into a very intuitive, creative space where the story is being told through that connection. And I will just basically tell you the story as it unfolds in my head. And then after the story has resolved itself, then we're going to go ahead and come back to our regular conscious state. Okay, so that's the kind of overall process of this story form. The fact that I'm doing this off the seat of my pants right now, we were talking a little bit earlier, how that is also kind of modeling trust in myself that this is going to work, which is part of the challenge, I guess, of becoming more self-reliant is that we have to take a leap of faith, be willing to take some risks, and then we will then reap the benefits of whatever our efforts will then result in terms of a positive outcome. All right, so we're going to just go ahead and start now. So we're going to begin with energy breaths. Let's close our eyes, take some nice, deep, relaxed breaths, and just visualize a warm light within us and all around us, just like the bright golden light of a lantern or a light bulb. We're going to imagine this warm light as representing the idea of pure, perfect life energy, and that it comes from a pure, perfect, and infinite source of life energy. We set an intention to be one with this infinite source of life energy at all levels of being and through space and time. We set intention that we'll be open and receptive to divine spiritual supports and healing. We set intention that life energy will create a healing process for us that is positive, comfortable, safe, effective, empowering, and long-lasting, and that life energy will prevent any harm, negative side effects, negative symptoms, pain, or suffering from our energy healing work today. We also set intention that life energy will continue to support and empower us and create the positive outcomes that we set intentions for today, so we don't have to repeat ourselves beyond our healing session today. And that we are connected to this idea of infinite and unconditional love, peace, joy, truth, creativity, strength, harmony, balance, goodness, mercy, forgiveness, health, wholeness, purity, abundance, courage, freedom, order, beauty, space, and time, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, and socially, and connected in our past, present, and future. So as we focus on our connection and alignment with this infinite source of life energy, we're going to visualize at the same time that our light is getting brighter and stronger within us and all around us. So this story form is for all of us who start our efforts to be more self-reliant and more self-confident and self-sufficient after experiencing many experiences that block us from having those qualities. It could be from traumas. It could be from experiences and relationships that we have with others that undermine our confidence in being self-reliant and self-confident. Or it could be due to our health, infections, toxins, genetics that may have undermined our ability to be self-reliant and self-sufficient. Or it could be because of abuse that may have happened that undermined our ability to move forward in life in a self-sufficient and self-reliant manner. And so we begin our story with that scenario. So I'm going to describe to you the scene of where we're starting at. I'm just going to describe where we are at in terms of the story. After a long struggle, what I see is that we have been in battle for a long time, and we're sitting down right now, resting our backs against a very large protective boulder. It's a very strong boulder. And behind the boulder is a battleground scene. It's filled with kind of smoke that has accumulated over time from the firing of guns or rifles. There's a lot of destruction that has happened. The sky is overcast and cloudy, and it's a gray, kind of depressing day. And as you see yourself, as you experience yourself crouched there, hiding behind the boulder, you will notice that you've been bruised and battered from the long battle. You're exhausted from years and many hard-fought battles and skirmishes. And so as you look at your body, you have scars that represent the battles that you've been through and the healing process that has occurred since you've survived all of those skirmishes and the attacks from life. And right beside you, you have a water bottle. It has some water, and you're just sipping on that water bottle. And you're wondering to yourself, how can I shift and change my life? Because I can't go on being beaten back by battle after battle as a pattern or a process for the remaining years of my life. I want to be and to thrive in a different environment. And as you're thinking about this, you realize that you can change your life through your ability to connect to positive energy, through life energy, so that you can lift yourself away from this hellish experience, this experience where as soon as you feel strong enough to poke your head up above this boulder and come out and fight a battle, there's another really difficult challenge ahead, and you'll end up with more scars and more bruises and more fatigue, and you just can't push forward from this spot. You're kind of stuck there. And the enemy is life in some ways, because life seems to be creating this ongoing onslaught of challenges and stressors. And you want good things, but even the good things come at a cost to you. And so as you're sitting there contemplating how to get yourself out of this mess that has been the pattern of your past experiences, since you have been struggling with all of these challenges that have kept you stuck, you turn your thoughts to reaching for the life energy as a lifeline for help, for additional energy, for additional creative energy, for additional resources. And as you do so, you notice that things are shifting and changing around you. You notice that this area where you are stuck behind this boulder is starting to get a beautiful beam of light, as if it was a ray of sunshine falling on you. And it's expanding, and it's moving forward into the areas all around you. And as you feel that light penetrate your spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, social life, you start to feel less afraid. You start to feel supported. You feel greater peace. You don't feel alone anymore in your battles. You're aligned with this powerful, infinitely helpful, infinitely loving energy. And this energy first starts to transform your personal experience by not only helping you to feel protected and safe, but also healing those battle scars and wounds, the feelings of being beaten up and discouraged and afraid, so that not only the inside of your life, but also the outward appearance of you in this life story is shifting and changing. As you look down at yourself, you start to notice that the light is changing and removing all of the bruises and scars you've accumulated through life. You feel greater energy. You feel optimism. You start to notice that your water bottle is filled with a delicious, nurturing drink, and it's always being filled up. As you drink from it, it refills, and it makes you feel good, because now you're not afraid of ever not having enough to sustain you. That this magical fluid that is now in your water bottle has become a resource as well. You notice that your Your shoes, your clothes are now shifting and changing as well. And you notice that they're without any stains. They're clean, they're beautiful. Your shoes are not battle scarred and broken, but are brand new and ready to take you places. Your clothes are not only clean and beautiful, but they have been transformed. There's no more holes, scratches, rips, tears, bullet holes where things have kind of gone through parts of your clothes. All of that is gone, and you're just dressed and ready for life, to come prepared for the new stage of your next phase of life. And now as this light expands beyond you, you notice that the boulder behind you is starting to transform as well. Instead of a rough boulder, it becomes this beautiful, supportive defense system. This defense is created out of solid material, but it's also filled with intelligence that monitors the area around you and protects you, so that if any harm comes to you, it will mitigate and protect you from that harm. And in fact, this barrier between you and the rest of the battle changes and shifts so that it becomes this instrument that not only protects you behind your back, but the instrument of protection and shielding you, and all of its information and wisdom and its abilities to thwart enemies and danger, all of that information is now being transferred also and duplicated into the very fibers of your body, the very energy fibers and information fibers of your body, so that you can go anywhere and be able to be protected from harm, a harm that will interfere with your ability to magnify your talents and your dreams, all of the many things that you know that you can accomplish and that you've always wanted to accomplish, but have not been able to do so. Now you can walk out into life and not be afraid of bullets or cruelty or people who are jealous and want to undermine your successes, or your own inner voice that tells you that you're not good enough. All of that is being addressed by the internal protections and wisdom and information coming from this infinite loving source of life energy. Now, as this light continues to expand around you, you notice that the gunshots and the fighting and the battleground noises are quieting down. And so you're curious, and you look around this protective barrier to see what's going on. And you notice that the scene behind you has shifted. Life energy has started to move beyond you as an individual to the environment around you. You notice that behind you, the battle-scarred field is cleared of all evidence of the struggle and fighting and the death and destruction and all of those things that made it such a horrific scene for you. Instead, it's been cleared of all of those interfering, horrifying remembrances of the past. And instead, that field is starting to shift and change little by little into a beautiful field of fresh green spring grass, dotted by beautiful flowering wildflowers in white, pale pink, pale yellow, lush purples and violets. You start to see butterflies and bees, and beyond the beautiful field, there's a beautiful grove of thriving trees that are gorgeous and filled with fresh spring green leaves. As you look on this peaceful scene, you're just really astonished. Wow, you've haven't seen such a lovely landscape for such a long time, and it's just hard to believe. But as you're looking at the scene, you notice that the sky is also shifting. And instead of the oppressive gray clouds, the clouds are lightening up. They're starting to clear. You see the blue sky showing up more and more until you realize the sky is a beautiful blue that is deep and clear, and there's a few clouds that are moving across the sky, but they're peaceful. The sun is shining in a very gentle way upon this whole environment, and you can feel a very gentle, clean breeze blowing away the smell of smoke and sulfur and battle. The air now smells of trees and flowers and grass, and it's thriving and filled with life. In front of you, that is also showing up. Before, you were looking at a battle-scarred scene. Now, in front of you also is just a beautiful landscape where you can see a beautiful lake mirroring the beautiful sky. And beyond the lake, you can start to see the beautiful mountains off in the distance. And it's just such a gorgeous scene that at first you're kind of struck by it. You're not quite ready to trust your new reality, but then you think, well, why not? Why don't I just go ahead and stand up and see if everything really is this new place of peace, well-being, and beauty that assails my senses with sweetness and caresses my skin with a soft, cool breeze of spring. And so you stand up, and sure enough, the ground is solid, the peace remains, and you start to gain confidence that the battle-scarred scene that you just found yourself stuck in has miraculously and easily cleared from your life through your connection to life energy. And now, through your own efforts, you are able to go wherever you want to go in this landscape. So you look around you and you catch sight of this beautiful, lovely cottage. It's not right next to you, but it's about a block away. And so you look at that beautiful cottage, and in front of that beautiful cottage is a beautiful stream. It's a beautiful stream gurgling over some river rocks, and you want to reach that cottage. And so you tap into your life energy and you ask for a bridge and a path that will lead you from where you are to that beautiful cottage. And that cottage represents your goals in life, all of the aspirations and dreams and things that you've always wanted to achieve, but were too busy in battle trying to survive to reach. But now there's nothing to get in the way, and you know that, and you feel that within every fiber of your soul. And so you tap into life energy and you ask for what it is that you need to reach that cottage, and you see that it is being created. You see a path forming between you and the stream, and a bridge creating a viable path for you to reach that cottage. And that bridge isn't just some whimsical thing, transparent or unsteady or makeshift or weak. That bridge looks very solid. It's made out of rocks, the river rocks. It's made out of cement. It's been built beautifully with love and care for your passage. And so you start to walk towards that bridge, and you very quickly reach it because there's no obstacles getting in your way. You feel the strength of life energy flowing through you at every step. And as you put your foot on the bridge, you test it, and it's solid. And so you take your steps and move across that bridge to reach that beautiful cottage filled with light. And all around that cottage is a beautiful garden that has been prepared for you, with fruit trees laden with flowers that bloom forever without coming to harm. And so you go ahead and take the path now paved to the door of the cottage. And you wonder, is this door going to be open or is it going to be locked? Because you wonder, am I going to be able to reach the inside of this cottage and find all of the beauty and comforts and wonders that I've dreamed of in life being available to me? And so you test the door. First, you knock on it. And as you knock on it, you notice that the door has very easily kind of moved or shifted under your knocks. It's actually not even locked. It's just already partially open, waiting for you. And as you go into this cottage, you notice that everything you've ever imagined, that you've deeply and desperately wanted for your life to manifest, has been prepared for you and symbolized in all of the beautiful furnishing and space and beauty and light in this cottage. As you walk in, you wonder, am I entering someone else's cottage? Is it my cottage? You're just so happy and delighted, but you just don't know if you can own it, whether it's really been gifted to you. And so as you're wondering, you see that there's a envelope on the table right next to the front door, and it's addressed to you. And so you said, well, whoever had lived or created this space obviously knows that I will appear at this cottage at some point. And so you walk over to the envelope and you open it, and it's a letter. It's a letter directed to you. And it simply states that this is your cottage, that through your perseverance, your courage, your warm-heartedness, because of all of the things that you have overcome, all the challenges you've met, because you are a true hero, that life energy has been preparing all along while you've been fighting your battles, this beautiful cottage for you as a reward. And you can, as you're reading this, you just feel the emotions welling up in your heart, and you just feel so grateful that you've been seen, that this universe knows how much you've worked to come to this place. And you feel deserving. You feel deserving of this beautiful gift because life energy is reminding you of all of the good things that you've accomplished through your efforts. And those things, even though they cannot be measured by money or medals or social acclaim, life energy has seen into your heart. It has witnessed all of your efforts to overcome the battles and challenges in your life and has found you worthy. So you go back to the door. It's slightly open, of course, as you just got in, and you close that door and you feel at home. You feel that you own the space, that you've worked hard for it, and that you deserve it. And you stay there and enjoy it, and you come out and you enjoy your garden. And as you live in that cottage over time, people come to you and visit you, and you develop all sorts of loving associations with those who live close to you, who are close to you in terms of love and connection, and because they see you for who you are, that beautiful person that you are, not some soldier filled with fear hiding behind a boulder, but a hero who has overcome many battles and have been able to overcome and achieve mastery over their own challenges, and in turn have earned through hard work, perseverance, courage, and faith, a beautiful place where all of the heroes, and you are one of them, all the heroes in life deserve. And the people who come to visit you that you befriend are also heroes. They know you, they understand and empathize with you, and they're there to support you as well in your life going forward. And you're so grateful and happy in this space, and you're continuing to use that space to manifest more and more of your goals in life, of your aspirations, not only to help yourself, but to help others. And as you help others, you start to gain even more confidence in your abilities to be a leader, a creative agent, someone who can use life energy powerfully to create positive change in the world. So as you let this message rest into every fiber of your being, we're going to go on and have you return back to your present life after having integrated and received all of the positive energies that your experience has provided for you. And to do so, I'm going to go ahead and have you lay down on the bed in your cottage to rest in the beautiful space there. You can feel the warm sunshine falling on your skin through a window near the bed. And as you lay down, you start to feel sleepy. And this sleep will take you back to the present moment where you are in your life, still wondering about the battles to be won. But you're different now. You've now integrated the peace that life energy has provided to you. You've integrated your experiences with deservingness with the cottage, and you've integrated the knowingness that you deserve good things in life, that you are a courageous hero, that you are loved and supported through life energy. And so we're going to count back from 10, and when we reach 1, you're going to go ahead and wake up to your current time, having been transformed and healed through this energy work, through this story of your life. So we'll start with you falling asleep, and then we'll count backwards, and then you'll wake up to the present moment. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. You're starting to wake up now into your present moment. 4, 3, 2, 1. And now you can open up your eyes, and here you are back into the present moment of your conscious life. So let's go ahead and open up your eyes.
The content provided by this podcast is for informational purposes only and has not been approved by the US FDA. This podcast is not intended to provide personal medical advice, which should be obtained from a medical professional.